Hey guys, what's up? It's Brumblr, welcoming you back to another Pokemon TCG Pocket video. This is a little late, but I did want to go over the brand new trading feature that they have teased for us and have put out a Twitter post for, at least that's where I found it. I'm pretty sure that they posted it to most of their socials, but I did grab it from there and then see it. And of course, there has been a lot of controversy, or at least discourse surrounding this sort of feature coming and the limitations that it will have on its first release. Now, I want to go ahead and let you know ahead of time that I am trying to think from the perspective of the devs and a couple of different aspects, and I want to go over all of that. One more thing I actually want to go over before going into the trading discussion is we did get a little tease about the next booster packs being available this month too, which is good news. Just means that the game is pretty much increasing at a good rate, and of course, different playstyles and decks will pretty much evolve from that, but do want to focus specifically on these bullet points that we have right here, and I will just go over them one by one, and then after that what I would like to do is just kind of go over them in general, so that way we kind of have an idea of what all we're dealing with. Trades can be done between friends, trades can be done with cards of the same rarity. At the time of the trade feature's launch, certain packs from Genetic Apex and Mythical Island booster packs will be able to be traded. We are planning to continue to expand the selection of booster packs you can trade from. Cards with a rarity of 1 diamond, 4 diamonds, and 1 star can be traded, and items must be consumed in order to trade. So again, kind of going through that, there are a few things that may seem like red flags, but I do want to go over each of them. We're going to start from the very top, and that is trades can be done with friends. Really, this doesn't seem like something super out of the ordinary. This really prevents you from just going to a random, doing something like a wonder trade almost in a regular Pokemon game, and then getting something completely weird, despite the fact that, you know, you were probably intending on trading something else, like not just a common, but maybe for a more rare card. And so it's a more controlled environment. So there's prior communication between the two people, have to have each other on their friends list, have to actually initiate the trade. I think stuff like this is important, especially early on, but I think that they can just keep it this way. I don't really see a huge issue not being able to trade with randoms, because what you can do is if you get on a blog or a forum, you ask somebody for a trade, put them on your friends list, do the trade, remove them. I mean, that's a couple extra steps to go through, but especially for like the safety precautions that I feel like Pokemon kind of wants to put in place, I think that this is a good way of doing that. The second bullet point was trades can be done with cards of the same rarity. Now, this is something I think a lot of people will probably be a little bit annoyed about, because it does feel like at the very least, you maybe could have done adjacent rarities. So at the very least, you know, if you were trading for something that was a 2-star, but you only had a bunch of 1-stars, well, then maybe you could either cumulatively make it so that you can reach the 2-star, you know, 2 1-star cards for a 2-star. Or again, if you just had a 1-star and you were trading for a 2-star, as long as, you know, the person was able to confirm the trade, you would still be able to do that. But I do think that there were 2 things here that Pokemon wanted to initiate to make sure that this was also fair. I mean, realistically, in the Pokemon trading card game, the rarity is kind of used for trading. I mean, cards will definitely have different prices when it comes to playability and popularity and all things like that, but I do think that this was something that they wanted to make sure was kind of available in game, because this is something they control. And the second thing, and I think the most important thing for Pokemon Company, the reason why they did this, is that this prevents multiple accounts and bot accounts from just offloading their super rare cards to a primary account and then just resetting the process all over again. I mean, you can still abuse this, because assuming you have your main account and you have a bunch of 1-star, 2-star, 3-stars, and you have duplicates that you're completely fine with trading, so that way you can complete your collection. I mean, there's nothing to really stop you there, but this requires so much more effort than if you were to trade a common Squirtle or a Caterpie and then trade it for a gold Pikachu or something like that. I think that that was also something that was definitely in the back of their minds when making this specific limitation, when trying to make sure that the rarities would be same when you're trading. Now, for the third bullet point, I kind of want to just summarize it and say certain cards from Genetic Apex and Mythical Island will be able to be traded. And so really, this is a little vague, because what this says is it says certain cards, not all cards from Genetic Apex and Mythical Island will be available. What this really says to me, because of the last sentence, is we are planning to continue to expand the selection of booster packs that you can trade from. It sounds like they actually intend for all of the cards to be available, but that could be alluding to the next bullet point that they have down below, that not every single card, because of the rarities, will actually be available. It'll just be these certain selections, and then, you know, maybe as the set just gets a little bit older, maybe as soon as we get into summer that they could start opening the floodgates. Hopefully it'd be sooner than that, but this is kind of, again, just trying to think within the logic of the developers here. And especially for the last point where it says we're planning to continue the expansion of selected booster packs you can trade from. This is very, 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 very obviously a sign that, like, yeah, of course we're going to include trading for all of the future sets, but we want you to open packs and spend your money to get these brand new cards and then actually, you know, get a collection and all of this before we even put in trading, because then what that does is that people can just, you know, have somebody else completely invest in opening packs for that set, and then whatever they want that's competitively viable or just a super huge chase card, they can just not invest any of their time, open the other sets, trade, and then they have what they're looking for. They've got their chase cards. So it's very obvious that this is just another way for them to say, hey guys, if you want the cards, you open the packs first, and then, you know, a month or two down the line, maybe then we'll add trading. And so the fourth bullet point is that cards with a rarity of 1 diamond to 4 diamond and a star can be traded. And this, I think, was probably one of the bigger outcries from the community. And I also want to say that this seems very unnecessary. Assuming that people are completely fine with doing a trade, you know, again, you've already made the effort to become friends so you can initiate a trade. You've already made the assumption that you're going to be trading for the same rarity because you can't otherwise. You literally can't. That's a limitation. I don't see why this is necessary. Unless they are really, again, trying to crack down on people who are making these multiple accounts and just making sure that they get a complete set by making use of, you know, having multiple accounts. Specifically, if you're botting, that's abusing the game. And so just to prevent that, they said, okay, well, you can't do that at all. I think for people who are doing their collecting, that's probably the cards they're missing the most. So for a person who has maybe a dupe of a gold card and, you know, they want a gold Charizard and they're completely fine with trading their gold Pikachu, I don't see why that should be limited. There's nothing here I can really give Pokemon Company and DeNA credit for here to try and say, oh, there's these reasons why. It just seems unnecessary. This is something that could be overturned as soon as we actually get the trading feature, because they heard that there was some outcry and multiple aspects for this feature. So it may be that it's thought about by the time it comes out, or it may just be that they go for a month, see how everything goes, and then they open the floodgates. But we will have to wait and see, because again, the feature's not even available yet. And so for the last bullet point here, we have the items must be consumed in order to trade. And this is the biggest red flag to me, because this says nothing to us. It's super ambiguous. Now, items being consumed in order to trade can mean any number of things. This could mean that they're going to implement another stamina meter specifically for trading, where, I don't know, depending on the rarity, you could spend a specific amount of that stamina meter. It could be that there are specific items that will come along, kind of like hourglasses that you just use and you will accumulate that allow you to trade. Or, and what people have been theorizing, is that there could be current specific items that are used for trading. So let's say, for example, in Pokemon Go, you actually use the Stardusts as a currency to trade from one person to another. Well, what's the closest thing that we have in Pokemon TCG Pocket? That's Shine Dust. And you get a lot of Shine Dust, assuming that you're just opening your packs every day. The best case scenario is probably that Shine Dust or some very, very available currency / item can be used for these trades. I don't honestly see why items are necessary in the first place. Again, could be limiting the multiple accounts and things like that, but if you've already invested that much into like a first time account, being able to get all these packs and get some of these rares, you're going to get some of this Shine Dust for trades no matter what. There's nothing about this last sentence that makes you say, oh yes, I'm very excited about trading. This is only something that acts as a roadblock. So, I mean, is it good that they let us know ahead of time? Of course, but the fact of the matter is, I mean, nobody's going to be excited for that. No one. So to kind of summarize my thoughts, I do really think that, one, the Pokemon Company and DeNA are really taking into consideration how much of an impact this is going to have on the economy of the game. The fact that trading is going to be such an integral feature means that they have to get it right the first time, or else they will just have something completely terrible on their hands. And I think in a lot of aspects they have done things right, making sure you're friends, making sure that cards are going to be the same rarity. But it seems that there are other things that I don't agree with. specifically limiting the fact that you can only go for lower rarity cards right now as high as a 1-star seems unnecessary. I don't see why that is something that you have to limit here. Again, I think that this is supposed to be a kind of stop to people abusing multiple accounts and bot accounts to try and, you know, just build your collections and then offload and then sell, do any kind of this stuff. And then items being consumed in order to trade. It's just, they have to have something that is super readily accessible where you can trade multiple times a day for this to be on, in my opinion, for it to even like work. If we get a stamina system or something that only allows you 1 trade a day, that's going to be terrible. It's going to be awful because there are several things in a deck that you would need. Again, Pokemon TCG Pocket only has 20 cards for you to play with, but the fact of the matter is that not everybody's going to have the same rares. I'm still missing a second Gardevoir from Genetic Apex, despite the fact that I opened probably well over 80 packs of Mewtwo, if not more than that, still completely missing it. And so that was, you know, of course, with the current things in hand, I'll be able to trade for that Gardevoir, but who knows, that may be the only trade I get for the day. And so being able to trade for some of the other 1-stars I'm missing in Genetic Apex, that might be something I can't do either. So it's just really weird. We had got confirmation again from the actual social media account that they are taking into consideration all of these concerns that people have. I'm sure other content creators like myself have been giving a whole lot more insight and kind of opinions on what this is and how it's going to go about. Them getting off to a slow start, I guess, is just sort of what they want to do, and that's going to leave people dissatisfied. But as long as they kind of make an effort to have these things available no less than a month after the trading feature is available, I think that we'll be in a better spot. But that'll be it from me. Please leave a like and comment down below what you think about the trading highlights, as I'm sure a lot of people have their thoughts they would like to share. But thank you guys so very much for watching. Hopefully you're having a fantastic night or day wherever you might be, and I hope to see you next time. See ya!